Happy New Year! Yes, don't worry, I have washed and changed, and this is all clean and everything else. I've not been sat here since the Christmas Eve. Uh, Welcome, Happy New Year! Welcome to 2026, our first one. Oh, here we go. When deciding this one for New Year's, I wanted to go and do Malaysia, to be honest with you. Besides from Monza and from Silverstone and Singapore, just chuck that in there as well. It's one of my favourite tracks. And when we left there as an F1 community, it was quite sad. I know costs are a big thing in Formula One, but the track is amazing. You know, fast, complex of corners, um, the speeds we can get up to as well. You know, the actual layout is great for an F1 car. And I thought, of course, we've got to go back to F1 2017 for this. So let's go for a classic car because I have done Malaysia using the 2017 Ferrari, which had a bit of a revival under Maurizio Arrivabene until Singapore, which we don't mention about that one. So, you know, this is where, you know, I could have done it and I could have used that one. But I wanted to go back even further. And again, classic car. So a Ferrari F2007, the last Drivers' Championship winning Ferrari at the hands of Kimi Raikkonen. Absolute legend. So without further ado, and reminiscing, because I could sit here all night and reminisce for Malaysia and the amount of races we had there, and some classic races we had there as well, especially 2009 when half points were shared out, and famously seen Kimi Raikkonen get out of the car and get an ice cream from that one, which is why he is a legend of the sport, Kimi Raikkonen. But let's crack on with what we've got here. So here we are, beautiful, powerful V8 in the back of that 2007 Ferrari. And we're coming into this final corner here. I brake beyond the 50-meter board. And I'm at 7th gear at that point. That V8 engine screaming out loud. It's such a beautiful sound. But braking at a 50-meter board, going from 7th right down to 2nd. This car can handle it. Okay, classic cars can handle it, because if we're going to go here again using the 2017 cars, you can go into this corner in 3rd, possibly 4th gear. So it's just a couple of gears down from that. But of course, remember, traction control, things like that. You know, not around, well, it's still not around now, obviously. But it's all about traction with this track. If you don't have the traction there, kiss your lap time goodbye. Because then going into it in 2nd gear, again, as it was with Brazil last time out with the Williams F1 W14B, so coming out down, going through the gears, it's applying that throttle at a specific time. So we're getting that nice traction and getting that speed in. Now, you see here, we've got the 100-meter, I know it's the other way around, but we've got a 100-meter board here. Okay, now, if you've seen the shorts for this already, when coming into some of the corners, because as I've shown you before with some settings that I have the racing line on for corners only. Yeah, Codemasters didn't think of that when it came to using the official daylight time for Malaysia, because it was so difficult to find that bloody corner line or racing line for it. Really difficult. So I actually do brake beyond the 100-meter board. In fact, I think I brake around about here, which means going into this first corner, I carry so much speed into there that I go too wide. Because ideally, as I play it on, and that's actually a good, perfect angle, we want to be closer into this corner here. We want to be closer into it. So again, don't want to open up the corner too much for Malaysia. We want to be able to have a nice tight turn in, so we've got that curb which can flick the car around ever so slightly, so we can get the power down into the next corner, hit the curb, flick the car around again to get the power down straight away. Of course, I don't do that. As you can see again there, sorry, headphones are slipping ever so slightly. I go wide again. So I already know, and I don't need to say what I need to do again because I've pretty much just told you what I need to do. So not a great start to the lap. But even then, I've said this before when using classic cars. Again, there losing that rear end. I have learned. Promise, I have learned. Now, as you saw there coming into here, we're braking around about here, which is around about 75 to 70 meters before the corner. At this point, you're in 7th gear, not screaming as much as we were on our back straight or start finish straight as well, but enough. Okay, we're coming to brake into this corner and changing down to 3rd gear for this one. Nicely hitting that curb there, hitting apex, nicely going out wide as well. Power down, going through those gears, going through here in 6th gear, having to come off the throttle ever so slightly though, because as much as I'd love to go through there flat out, which you can do in modern cars, classic cars you can't. Despite the lovely aerodynamics we've got on the car there, can't do it. So I have that throttle ever so slightly, but going up nice and wide, touching the curb there, coming in down to 5th in this one. Reason being is because, again, we want that control, we want that grip, and we get that perfectly by going down into 5th and kissing the apex there, kissing and touching the grass a bit there, going out nice slightly wide, going through the gears again. And again, sorry, I have to moan back up Codemasters again with this one when it comes to this. Great graphics, great for daylight showing where everything is, but don't make the cornering line so hard to see. I brake way too early into this corner, far too early, because once again, as you can see, I pretty much come to a standstill. Okay, so ideally, if I go back ever so slightly, perfect, I've never done that before. Of course, you see me brake here, which is the 100-meter board. Should be coming down again like it was in previous corners, around about the 70 meters I should be braking for. So we can turn into the corner whilst we're lifting off the brakes, so then we're still carrying some of that speed into there. So as you can see, I go in, and because I go in too early, try to apply throttle a little bit too early to try and make up some time, I lose rear end. Okay, so that's not great. That's bad. So next time, brake slightly later, release the brake going into that corner as well to keep that speed going, putting the throttle down ever so slightly as well, so we can start picking up and gaining that traction and gaining that speed again. Going through here, I'm so twitchy throughout that corner. Beautiful on board. Nicely hitting the apex, so back on track basically. Great camera angle. Again, hitting the curve here, but look, just it's all right there, just doing that. I love classic cars, and it brings so much joy when it comes to doing this with the classic cars. It brings so much joy. But my God, they could be tough to handle. But that's why I love F1 games. So coming into this corner now, I do go far too wide here. I do need to be a bit tighter into where this bollard is. So I need to be around about here. So again, far too wide going into this corner. But still, it allows me, as we now go on board with the rear end, to put my foot down, going through 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, into 7th now. The screaming V8 engine. Again, like we already said at the beginning of the lap, down into 2nd of this corner, going into 3rd as we're coming out of it, putting the throttle down, on a start finish straight, go a crossing line in 5th gear. And that is our lap of Malaysia. That was a 1 minute 38.4, that was. So a very good time around there. In the 2017 Ferrari, when I'd done it a couple of years ago, it was a 1 minute 36, 1 minute 35, around about then. When I'd done that one back then, I had back problems, so it's a bit difficult to try and concentrate doing that, but also trying to look after my back as well. But that was quite a solid lap, to be honest with you. Quite a few mistakes in there, which I know, and I've already talked about going through this, what to do differently next time to make that correct. Because by braking at the correct distances for the corners, I could easily make up, I reckon, around about 2 to 3 tenths of a second. So rather than a 138.4, we could possibly push underneath that 138, get into the 137s with this car. So that is amazing for that one. That's brilliant. And that's what we're striving for here. You know, we're striving to get better. But as I say, my classic punchline here, I'm not an esports F1 esports driver. I'm not the best. I'm not a content creator, although I'm slowly starting to get into that rhythm of it now. I'm just someone here that's enjoying F1 games, and sharing that passion and joy with you guys, whilst showing you my horrendous errors that I have before actually launching the proper videos from the correct and proper lap times as well. But that's it for our New Year's Day special. We will be back on our weekly Friday routine again as of the first proper week of January. So we'll be back on the 9th of Jan with Australia. So going right back to the beginning of the calendar, and we'll start picking off race by race, week by week, building up to the new F126 season. Of course, we're not getting an actual game for it. We are getting an add-on at some point to F125, but we'll keep going as we are. But as well as looking at tracks on the calendar for next year, of course, we can't do Madrid just yet because, of course, it's not in the game yet. But we will go back and do some other classic tracks as well. So we'll go and do India in F1 2013. We'll go and do some of the other classic tracks as well. So Brands Hatch as an example, Jerez as well as another. So there's quite a lot of content still to come. Quite a lot of classic cars we can still use as well as a part of this. But all that's left for me to say again is Happy New Year to you all. Once again, I hope 2026 treats you very, very well. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that it will do for me as well as we continue, or I continue this venture. And we will see you on the 9th of Jan.